Hello, my name's Adam Grandison. Today, this Labor Day, I'm going to talk to you about nothing other than labor relations with corporations and corporate governance. So pretty much, I have a little bit of knowledge of labor law and things like that. My uncle was a president of a couple of unions in my hometown of Indiana. He was in charge of the St. Joseph, local 686, the AFL-CIO, and as well as the AFSCM SCME. So it's much the union for public employees. So it's pretty much, yeah, he was a public employee. He worked as a custodian for Washington High School back in South Bend, Indiana. And he really valued union. So if anything, this is for you. His favorite one of his favorite days was Labor Day. So this is for my Uncle Hollis. So pretty much, what I've been thinking about is, a lot of this stuff, this disparity in income has been these ideas have come about by thinking like a billionaire. So since I'm out of work, I'm unemployed, and so for Labor Day I'm going to think like I am employed. so much I'm going to put myself in the mindset of a billionaire. So if I was a billionaire, pretty much I'd kind of unions. I mean they would probably view unions as a bad thing. If I was a billionaire, I'd probably view unions as a bad thing, because assuming that billionaires are greedy, I'd want to keep as much income as I possibly could have, and that's probably what's happening. The thing about that is, you think that the union would obviously the union function, of workers would function as one, effective unit. It does, to some degree or not, but it does have a governance. Okay, yes, it's a union, no different than actually the union of our United States, and it does have what's called a constitution. So the thing about it is that I believe some of these unions, from what I've been looking at, they don't. I mean, they have a hierarchy, okay, and I believe this hierarchy, the presidents and the treasurers interact a little bit closer when it comes to bargaining with the CEOs for settling labor disputes. So pretty much the main constitution I looked at was the American auto workers and aerospace union. So it's an international union. So it is present around the globe. Okay, so it encourages people of many ethnicities. It has no bias in sex. It should have no bias in gender. Any of that stuff, nationality, none of that stuff. And as far as I know, it doesn't. So, and it's present. It's present around, in many nations. In matter of fact, one of the goals of this of these international unions is to spread collective bargaining throughout the globe. So I mean, to improve conditions everywhere, but also to ensure that the workers, not only in the United States, because jobs do move out of the United States to go to other countries, right? So to ensure to protect the unions within the United States, you got to spread unions around. So that's why I think it's very important. In a lot of these, the people at the top of these, the international union, I looked at one, and I think it's a good example. I'm going to look at others, but yes, so the president, the international, the president of the International Union of American Auto Workers. I mean, in Detroit, the president alone. I'm just hypothetically, I'm guessing that if I was the president of this of this union as well as the treasurer, I'd probably be also taking a little bit of money under the table. If the corporation is throwing it at me, especially if you're it be for your benefit and no one would know. So pretty much we're I mean I'm I guess I'd be in questioning the integrity of some of these officers, because I do believe unions are effective. Okay, that's the thing about it. And the thing about it is we're talking about so sort of why would I do this if I was a corporate billionaire? Well, if I have them in my pocket, I mean you can so if the unions do go on strike, not only can you get them back aboard by having someone high up top to persuade the workers that everything's okay and say, oh, keep working, conditions are fine, we're doing good, we're on your side. Also, during strike, you can, I mean, if you really put the, I mean, if you're a president in charge of all these workers and you give the person in charge of the union just a fraction of what you'd pay the entire union in general, which wouldn't be that much in comparison to paying one person. I mean, you can save some money. And also, in effect, make the workers more docile by making that strike really, really, really painful for the workers. Cutting strike assistance funding and things like that, or squeezing that out, because I know that's what do you get paid? Get down to what, $200 a week for strike assistance, depending on the depending on what they tell you, right? And yes, they do pay, the workers do pay dues to not only ensure that they know where how their money's being used in the entire union in general, but also so that they can have security. So when things get tight like this, I mean, it's pretty sad. So I mean, they're weakening unions in like all across the board. I mean, if this is true, and I think it is, and it. If it weakens unions all across the board, especially in the United States, we're talking about, why would it want to spread unions to different countries? Well, what's happening in the United States? If it's not safe here with the spread of, the right to work states, if it's not safe here, it's gone here. It's definitely going to go away in other countries where, so much the protection of our workers is very important. I mean, it's very common for corporations in power to seek just to pay people in authority positions in government to do things like suppress worker rights. Also, I mean, and that's what it's all about, it's just, what else can I do? I mean, it also, I mean, so unions are important, okay? I mean, they exist for a reason. I mean, they improve, working conditions, things, safe, things like, safety procedures and protocols and things like that. If they didn't exist, there'd be a lot more workers being injured and even worse, things like that. I mean, and yes, these safety measures do. I mean, they do cost money. And if I was a corporation billionaire, and it's like, I mean, it'd be cheaper not to care about these conditions. I mean, I mean, not to care about wages, not to care about insurance and pensions and things like that. That's just more money. That's not going into my bank account. I mean, so much your bank. I mean, that bank account is like literally blinding. Neglecting the humanity of these workers, and it's unbelievably awful. I mean, throughout history, okay, workers, the AFL and CIO, that used to be, two individual unions, which eventually merged as one, like unions do. They unite, things like that. But workers throughout the in entire nation, so much the American, so much the AFSCME that has 100 or 1.3 million government employees, and things like I believe the AFL-CIO that has somewhere around I believe 12 million. So yeah, these are large influential unions that not only are big voting machines. That's probably not a proper word, but they're people, okay, who need everything that a person needs. I mean, and money should not really come in the way of what a person needs to actually live. It's tragic to me. I mean, so much. I mean, you give examples like how governments pay authority figures, or especially in government, and even police forces, in 1920s, where the the trust were becoming these large corporate monopolies of railways and telegraphs and things like that. They were coming into question and things like that. And workers, I mean, they really have had a history of fighting in fighting in public officials. I mean, police forces and things like that, for their rights. Matter of fact, you probably heard about how this massacre. I forget the particular name of it, but yeah, police forces sprayed machine guns into crowds of union workers, just to deter strikes and things, deter a strike and things like that. I'm in Chicago. The 1971 Chicago fire. Why was that? It was due to a company who a business who didn't have safety, proper safety conditions and exits for people to leave, in the event of when of a fire and things like that. So yes, it is the responsibility of people who have means, who have money, and to provide not only safety, livable income and wages, healthcare and things like that, to its workers, so them to actually live. We're not talking about to have party it up and things like that, or well, I mean, obviously enjoy your life, but not exactly. You don't have to exactly pop bottles of Cristal and friggin' drink it every day. But I mean, they at least need to provide the bare minimum. Okay, and that's what I think that should be shed a light on. So in labor unions, yes, you do pay dues, and those dues. If you look in your constitution, you should see that yes, those dues, that you should see where that money's going in your labor union, And if the treasurer of that labor union, as well as the president, are misusing those labor dues, you should be able to call those actions into question with your other coworkers, and pretty much look into that. So yes, you even an individual in the union, you do have rights to change your union, and also to cause change throughout the entire union itself, but as well as within your local government, but as a government as a whole. I mean, yes, you can do this, and together we can. So yes, okay. Happy Labor Day. I hope I made you proud, Hollis Hughes Jr. God bless you. Rest your soul.